This is where most people live their entire lives, a place that feels safe, familiar, and comfortable. Every day they watch others chase big dreams. They see people learning new skills, taking risks, and growing. Sometimes an opportunity appears right in front of us. It could change our future completely. But fear often stops us before we even begin. The unknown can feel scary. Our minds start imagining everything that could go wrong, and suddenly one small step feels much bigger than it really is. So we choose the familiar path again. We tell ourselves we'll try tomorrow, but tomorrow often turns into another tomorrow. The routine repeats again and again. Wake up, do the same things, and go back to sleep. Nothing changes because nothing new is attempted. Yet deep inside, a dream still exists, a dream of becoming more, doing more, and achieving more. That dream never completely disappears. Sometimes we think about the future. We imagine what life could become if we were brave enough. Now there are two paths ahead. One path feels safe and comfortable. The other path leads toward growth and possibility. Sooner or later, everyone faces this choice. Stay where it's comfortable or move towards something better. The hardest part is not the work itself. The hardest part is making the decision to start. Because starting means facing uncertainty. Our minds are powerful storytellers. Unfortunately, many of those stories are negative. We imagine failure long before we ever take action. The more we overthink, the stronger fear becomes. Problems grow larger inside our imagination. Even small challenges begin to feel impossible. Then we start comparing ourselves to other people. We look at their success and ignore their struggles, and that comparison slowly steals our confidence. Little by little, self-doubt begins to grow. We stop believing in our abilities. We start questioning whether we are good enough. Eventually, every challenge looks like a giant wall, something impossible to overcome, something only other people can do. But if we look carefully, something interesting appears. Most obstacles are not as solid as they seem. There is usually a way through. Growth doesn't require a huge leap. It begins with one small action. One tiny step can change the direction of your life. Then something surprising happens. After taking that first step, you realize you're still okay. The disaster you imagined never happened. And suddenly the journey begins. Fear becomes smaller. Possibility becomes bigger. The first few steps feel uncomfortable. Everything is new and unfamiliar, but that's exactly how growth starts. Then you make a mistake. Not because you're incapable, but because mistakes are part of learning. For a moment, frustration takes over. You wonder if you're making the wrong choice. You think about giving up. But every mistake contains a lesson. Every failure teaches something valuable. If you're willing to pay attention. So instead of quitting, you stand back up. You decide to keep moving, even if progress feels slow. That decision changes everything, because resilience is built during difficult moments, not during easy ones. The obstacles that once scared you begin to shrink. Not because they changed, because you changed. Looking back, you notice something important. You've already come farther than you expected. Growth has been happening all along. New opportunities start appearing everywhere. Not because the world suddenly changed, but because your mindset changed. With every step forward, confidence grows, and the comfort zone loses a little more control over your life. As you continue moving forward, momentum starts building. The journey becomes a little easier than before, but suddenly a familiar voice appears, a voice that whispers, maybe you should go back. The comfort zone still looks attractive. It promises safety and certainty. It promises zero risk. Now the real battle begins, not against the world, but against your own thoughts. One future offers comfort, the other offers growth, and both are asking for your attention. The truth is simple. Comfort keeps you where you are. Growth takes you where you want to be. When you imagine your future self, something becomes clear. The strongest version of you exists beyond fear. At that moment, you make a decision to keep moving forward no matter what. You stop looking behind you and start focusing on what lies ahead. Because every meaningful achievement begins with courage, and courage begins with a choice. Soon another challenge appears, the challenge of patience. At first, progress feels exciting. Every step feels rewarding. But after some time, improvement becomes harder to notice. Results seem slow, almost invisible. You begin feeling tired, and the temptation to quit returns once again. You wonder whether all your effort matters. You wonder if you're moving in the right direction. Then you pause and look back, and suddenly you notice how far you've come. The progress was always there. You were simply too close to see it. Success is usually built quietly, one habit, one action, and one day at a time. The people who achieve great things are rarely perfect. They simply refuse to stop. So you continue climbing. One step today, another step tomorrow. As you grow, people begin noticing the change. Some will support you, others will not. Sometimes criticism appears. Sometimes people question your choices. Their words can hurt, especially when you're still learning to believe in yourself. But not every opinion deserves your attention. Some voices only create noise. You learn to trust your own path, even when others don't understand it. And freedom leads to self-belief, a belief that grows stronger through action. The more you trust yourself, the less power fear has over you. Confidence isn't a gift. It's something you build through experience. And every step forward strengthens that confidence even more. By now, you're becoming a different person, not overnight, but little by little. When you compare yourself to your past self, the difference is impossible to ignore. Challenges still exist, but they no longer seem impossible. Fear still appears sometimes, but it no longer controls your decisions. Every lesson has made you wiser. Every setback has made you stronger. You begin trusting yourself more than ever before, and that trust changes everything. The comfort zone still exists, but it feels much smaller now. Your world has become bigger. Your possibilities have become endless. What once looked dangerous now looks exciting. What once looked impossible now looks achievable. For the first time, you truly see your potential, and it's much greater than you imagined. Then comes an important realization. Growth never really ends. Every new level brings new challenges, and every challenge brings new opportunities. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's often a sign that you're improving. The most successful people understand this truth. They welcome challenges instead of avoiding them. They don't wait for confidence. They create confidence through action. They start before they feel ready, and that's why they keep growing. Every step outside your comfort zone expands your life. It opens doors you never knew existed. Each challenge prepares you for the next one, making future obstacles easier to handle. Slowly, impossible things become possible. And eventually, what once seemed impossible becomes normal. One day, you stop and look back at your journey. You remember the person who was afraid to begin, the person who kept waiting for the perfect moment. Then, a powerful realization hits you. There was never going to be a perfect time. The secret was never confidence. The secret was action, taking the first step despite uncertainty. Every action created momentum, and momentum kept carrying you forward. Every obstacle strengthened your character. Every challenge sharpened your abilities. And every moment of courage brought you closer to this breakthrough. Most people spend their lives protecting comfort. But comfort is not always your friend, because comfort has a hidden price. It steals opportunities before they even begin. It limits what you're capable of becoming, and it keeps dreams locked inside your imagination. The life you truly want exists beyond fear, beyond uncertainty, beyond excuses, beyond the limits you've accepted for yourself. So today, take one small step, just one, because your comfort zone may feel safe today, but your future is waiting outside it, and the moment you step forward, your real journey begins.